You have about 30 seconds before we lock and load. Go top off your coffee and get ready for the Gunsmiths. The Gunsmiths are brought to you by Williams Gun Sight. Have questions about what's new in the market? What your gun is worth? The latest laws and regulations? Call the Gunsmiths at 810-743-8255, 743-8255. And now, your Gunsmiths, Jonathan and Jacob Smith.
All right, welcome back, everybody. This is the Gunsmith Show here on January 2nd, live, of course, and I'm John.
And I'm Jake.
And we're here to talk guns with you. Now, we've been talking about some of the new laws and new regulations going on and some of the changes made around the country as of the 1st of January. And to me, Virginia, what we were just discussing was Virginia making a change in their CPL reciprocity, meaning that if you have a CPL license and you're from one of the 25 states we mentioned a moment ago, you no longer have reciprocity in Virginia.
Yep.
So we watch that, especially when we travel, what states we can carry in and what states we can't. And we very carefully do that every vacation we go on. So Virginia is a friendly state. So that's good to us.
Yes. You know, reciprocity through Virginia will continue with these 5 states. West Virginia, since it's just to the west of Virginia, why not keep it? Michigan, Oklahoma, Texas, and Utah. Now Alaska was on the list of no longer being available. And I thought for myself for a second, how would you get to Virginia from Alaska with a CPL? You'd have to...
in the back of the truck.
Well, you can't go through Canada legally with it, right? Unless you took a boat from Alaska all the way down to...
I don't know. I'm not sure how you travel through Canada with guns. Ever since I started carrying, I don't go to Canada. And I'm half Canadian.
I've never been to Canada. And I'm still half Canadian.
Yeah, you are.
Basically. Well...
Your mom's half Canuck. But anyways,
yep.
Or partial Canuck anyway. So, but that's good. I mean, it's not a bad thing. It's just that I don't go to the border and disarm myself.
No, that's not a problem.
And I wouldn't want.
And there's plenty of excellent hunting opportunities in Canada. I just have never ventured out that far to go. You
haven't had to leave the great state of Michigan to hunt in.
Exactly.
Because there's so much here to enjoy. So. And
all those wolves. Why go to Canada to hunt wolves when you can just hunt them in the UP? All right.
No, you can't hunt wolves.
Now, speaking of wolves and predators, we're focused a little more today on coyotes, raccoons, and squirrels.
So a little predator hunting.
Deer season's over. NBC series is brand new to catch a predator. No.
We're going to set up the video cameras at the trailer park.
Yes, and we're going to confront the coyote at the bait pile.
There you go.
Now, for coyotes, probably the most popular predator in Michigan that everybody always sees, and they're always somewhat scared of. Oh, there's coyotes. And we always hear every year, coyotes are taking cats, dogs.
Oh, yeah. Let their Shih Tzu out, and it's now a pile of
Yes, we
poo.
get it.
So not a good thing to happen. So, but the question is, everybody says, I don't have a coyote gun. It's like, wait a minute. Let's clarify. You probably do.
You probably do.
Now, if you're not a gun owner, you probably don't. But if you do own guns,
a 9-iron with a Titleist Pro VI, you are more than welcome to try and nail that coyote.
I got him with the first swing.
If you can drive it 300 yards.
Now, coyotes, let's be honest. Coyotes are pretty elusive animals.
They are.
They are crafty, sneaky. They're a lot like a fox. Foxes are called sly. Well, coyotes are fairly sly too. Now, fun to watch. If you've ever watched a coyote, and I had a beautiful sight of one day, just driving on I-69. It was in the golf course there across north of GM in the big golf course on 69.
That's the Swartz Creek Golf Course.
Right. Coyote jumps way up in the air and then nosedived into the snow to try to catch a mouse that must have been in the snow. And he looked happy. He was happy. He's a happy camper. That'd be a perfect opportunity to shoot him when his head's in the snow, because coyotes are not real good for the environment. They do torment farmers, and there's most farmers I know do not want coyotes on their property.
Right.
As in most people in the UP don't want wolves either, but unfortunately the politicians down here in southern Michigan have approved wolves living in the UP. And it will come back to haunt us for years to come, I guarantee it, with the decimation of the herds of deer and other animals in the UP, as well as the chasing, the tormenting of human beings. And just wait, it's bound to happen.
I want to go to the UP
happen.
just to see wolves, just to say yes. I've seen the pack of 15 that
Yes.
are chasing the kids on a school bus.
Yeah.
So. But when we're talking about guns to hunt coyotes, a lot of times what you already have might work fine.
Certainly.
22 long rifle and 22 magnums.
Yes.
Probably two of the most popular cartridges for coyote hunting in Michigan. And they'll do the trick perfectly fine with a headshot.
Yeah, head or front shoulder.
Yep.
Does the job just fine.
Now remember, coyotes are no bigger than a lab.
Medium-sized dog.
Medium-sized dog.
Right.
Now, what about going something a little different or maybe a little bigger? How about
In the
this?
daytime, yes, in Michigan.
Yes.
These are daytime guns you can use for varmint hunting and for predator hunting down here in southern Michigan, and they can be center fire rifles.
How about 204 Ruger? That's a new cartridge.
Yes, it is.
223.
Popular. It's your 5.56, your AR-15 weapons.
243.
Good one.
Now 17 HMR.
Ooh, it's fast. They say it works fine.
Looking for a 24-inch AR and 223.
Hmm.
Hunter model, heavy barrel. Don't worry, every AR manufacturer makes one, or you could build your own with the parts.
There you go.
Could do a custom coyote hunting rifle.
And you might not want to have an AR rifle for this type of stuff. You might want to
Exactly.
go with a bolt action.
How about a bolt action? They have the Savage Model 11, Ruger American rifle, and they have the gun sight rifle now in 223.
Yeah.
The Mossberg MVP, which is probably my favorite one.
It's a popular gun for this.
Yes.
Predator hunting.
Short,
Box magazine.
compact. It takes AR-15 magazines.
Yep.
Howa makes a really interesting 223 bolt action that comes all fully camoed. And, of course, you have Remington with their 700s and their
767s. What's that?
No, they have that little 700 that they do in the 300 blackouts, threaded barrel. And
Yeah.
now it is illegal to hunt in Michigan with a silencer. So don't
At this
think
time,
at
yep.
this time. So don't try to, although it would make absolutely perfect sense to hunt coyotes with a silencer.
Yes, it would. But
Now, tired of an AR, tired of a bolt action. Think of this. Mini 14s.
great gun.
Mini 14
Sturdy.
with a scope.
Accurate.
Would be-
Easy to shoulder.
Yep.
Not too heavy. And wood. Wood is warmer in the wintertime. Because when you're out there in the wintertime and you're hunting and you're holding an AR-15 with say, an aluminum forend, that is a cold gun to hold on to.
Yes.
That's when you're going to want to change from a plastic grip to a rubber grip for a little more warmth. You're going to want... winter hunting is completely different than going to the range in the middle of August. You personally, I warm up more to wood guns for wintertime hunting than I do black guns.
Now,
So,
the Mini 14 comes in 223, 300 blackout, or you have the Mini 30, which is 7.62 by 39, which is your AK-47 round.
right. And all of them would work just fine for coyote work.
Yep. Now, of course, 22 long rifle and 22 magnums. Those are, I would say, still plentiful as rifles across the shelves in America.
Yep.
Every gun store you go into, they'll have rifles in those calibers.
And price from $125 on up.
Yep.
Even single shot rifles would work real good at this.
You've got lever action, bolt action, semi-auto,
Your single shot
actions.
rifles in pistol calibers that you might have just bought for deer hunting now in southern Michigan.
Tell you what, a
would work
450
perfect.
Bushmaster would pack a wallop to a coyote.
Yeah, a little overkill. As far as I'm concerned, a 38 special would be perfect at out to 50 or 60 yards.
Yeah.
In a rifle round.
Now,
But truth be known, talking about I got to get a coyote gun. If you've got a 12 gauge or even a 20 gauge with the right loads, that's a perfect coyote gun.
yep.
Because as long as you're not getting out of range, but if you're in a close range proximity with a coyote, your 12 or 20 gauge with the BB loads would be ideal. It would be just ideal. It will pack enough punch to do what it needs to do with a coyote at like 50 yards and less.
Sure. Now, how about this old one here? And think about this as being ideal for coyotes or even raccoons in the daytime. Might be a little too much for squirrels, but how about the old 22 Hornet?
Yeah.
It's been around since 1930. It'll push a 45 grain bullet, 22 caliber bullet, 45 grains, 2,690 feet per second.
So in comparison, a 22 long rifle, which is the same diameter bullet, and say a Stinger, a CCI Stinger, which is a high velocity round, is a 32 grain or 36 grain bullet at 1,640 feet per second. So this is going 1,000 feet per second faster with a 45 grain slug. This is a centerfire rifle cartridge. I know there was 22 Hornets handguns made, and you can get it in a Thompson Contender.
Right.
But as far as bolt actions go, it's a classic hunting rifle.
Well, here's a little bit of a backstory behind it. It goes all the way back to California in the 1930s, and at the time, at one of the arsenals there, and Colonel Townsend Whalen happened to be working with somebody at the arsenal and took part in having some of the first rifles for it. They converted old Springfields to a 22 Hornet, and the rest became history. In 1930, Whalen and a couple of his friends went out on a varmint hunt, and the very first animal killed with this was a woodchuck at 150 yards.
Really?
A woodchuck at 150 yards. They came back, and at the time, there was a man at Winchester named Edwin Pugsley, who was the Winchester executive. And after a conversation with Whalen about the success of this rifle or this cartridge, they ordered a custom Model 54 Winchester in this new, what they called the 22 Hornet. And Whalen called it the Hornet because it was so fast and powerful it stung like a hornet.
Now, that was the reaction the animals had when they were shot with it. So I thought about the name, but the Model 54, was that that was
pre-Model 70.
Pre-Model 70 bolt action rifle. Okay.
Now, it became a standard in the Winchester line of ammunition in 1931 and featured either a soft point or a hollow point, and it pushed it to 2,500 feet per second back then.
Wow. I know how they measured it back then.
And, I'm not sure, but it stayed the most powerful, the most accurate 22 caliber until 1950 when the 222 came out. So for 20 years, this cartridge was on top of the world in the 22 market.
Well, in the age of the gun makes a lot of sense to me because I have a lot of friends in that era that grew up in that era, and they, a lot of my old friends have 22 Hornets, and that was their pride and joy.
Oh,
that was the gun that, Grandpa would drop deer with it. It wasn't too powerful. And in the days of the 2520s and the 3220s, that 22 Hornet was a smart 22 caliber round. Now, and it still is.
Oh, absolutely.
Still, it's a popular round. I mean, they have Thompson Contender is probably the number one seller. I would think there's still a lot of them.
I think Ruger at one time had a bolt action 22 Hornet.
I think Ruger had. Well, yeah, they have a Model 77.
Yes.
In 22 Hornet. And at one time they did. I'm certain they did a Ruger Blackhawk with 22 Hornet.
Really?
Yes. I'm certain of it. I remember there was something to do with a Blackhawk Hornet. If I know there's somebody out there that can verify that for me, so if you want to, give us a call in the studio. But
here's the thing. Now, do you have a favorite rifle or cartridge that we did not mention that you use for your Predators?
There you go.
Let us know what you use. You can either call us here in the studio, 743-8255, or you can send us an email, shooter@thegss.com, or you just put on our Facebook page, hey, I like to use my blank.
Yeah, there you go.
Maybe you've got an old Savage in 308 that you use every year.
Or 250 Savage you want to use. Yeah, that'd be perfect for it. Or a 243 or a 22 250. There's all kinds of guns out there. So, all right, well, let's go to commercial break, Jake, and then we'll come back and we're going to talk about what's coming up new at the SHOT Show this January in Vegas. So hang on tight. The Gunsmiths will be right back.
Do you have a project that requires custom cabinetry or custom woodwork? If so, you need to see the friendly and knowledgeable sales team at Michigan Lumber Company. For years, the experienced staff at Michigan Lumber have been turning out beautifully handcrafted molding and custom millwork right here in the Flint area. And believe me, they're totally dedicated to quality and complete customer satisfaction. So call 810-232-4108, 232-4108, or log on to MichiganLumber.com. Michigan Lumber Company, proudly serving the Flint and surrounding communities for over 90 years. That's experience you can count on.
If you want your home to feel sound when you are not around, call Pal Alarm. To protect your safekeepings and stop anyone from peeking, call Pal Alarm. When the house gets locked down so you can get out of town, call Pal Alarm. Give Pal Alarm a call today at 810-908-8298. That's 810-908-8298 or palalarm.com.
Attorney Timothy J. Cassidy is the pro-gun attorney that we here at the Gunsmith Show use.
With more than 20 years of experience as a prosecuting attorney, law professor, and holding a past seat on the Genesee County Gun Board,
Tim Cassidy is your pro-gun attorney.
contact Attorney Cassidy today at 810-569-5441 or email him at attorneycassidy@gmail.com.
And now back to the Gunsmiths.
All right, having good discussions here as we always do. We got Dylan pushing the buttons for us this morning.
We just got a message during the break. It said 32 ACP does not work for coyotes.
I bet it doesn't. It's a light load.
That sounded like it was coming from words of experience from the caller.
Okay,
So,
all right. Well, we'll
do
make
not
a note
use
of
a
that.
32 AC. Now I think, hey, like a Marlin Camp 9 or a Camp 45, those semi-auto
Oh yeah,
9mm 45 rifles
That'd be
would
fun.
be awesome for coyotes up to 100 yards maximum.
yeah. I wouldn't go any further.
Imagine
Imagine Liberty ammo at that range. At 50 yards.
even Caltech has those 9mm handguns.
Yeah. Well, I mean, in the
In the 40s.
the
SUB
2000. These are. Well, they're long. They're 16-inch barreled.
handguns, basically. But they're considered rifles.
Yeah, they are rifles. They don't work until the buttstock's locked
Folded
in.
out,
You're
right.
right. Very, very interesting gun. So there's so many to choose from.
When we had some of our previous callers in the show have talked about how they do use an AK-47 because it has 30-30 ballistics, and they've used it on deer and coyotes, and
Yeah.
and they're actually very surprised at what it can do. So
What's a good round?
there's a lot of options out there if you're looking to go predator hunting, and and always you've got the slugs for your shotguns, which are always a standby favorite. So
Even buckshot. You might have a couple of coyotes close with buckshot. You might be able to get two with one.
there you
You
go.
never know. So we've seen some local friends of ours knock them down with slugs at 150 yards. And
And I've seen what a slug does to coyote,
yeah,
and
it's fairly ugly.
it's a mess.
It's a very
but
clean
it stops the threat.
Yeah, it's
So-
done. It's done. Done quickly.
All right. Well,
Now-
coming up this month is the SHOT Show in Las Vegas,
Yes.
and as always, there's always some confirmed rumors and some unconfirmed rumors, and just some mysterious hype about what you'll see this year. And kind of like the auto show in Detroit, you never know what's going to happen, but
Until you get there.
until you get there. Now, thankfully, a lot of people have taken some pictures and given some hints as to what's to come. So we're going to talk a little bit about this today as to what.
They want to build the hype up.
Oh, there's
you know?
got to be some hype. Some of the new handguns and rifles that are confirmed to possibly be there.
Well, and I'm going to tell you right now.
Well, first, before you say that, I hope
What?
to see the Remington R51 come back.
You hope to, or you wonder? If
I
it will?
wonder if it will. But go ahead.
Well, I'm going to tell you right now, and we knew this was going to happen a long, long time ago in Irwindale, California. The Javelina model of the 1911 was built. The long slide gun, which we are going to see, and Jake, you're about to tell us, the long slide guns are coming back in style.
They are.
People want 1911s with 6-inch barrels. That's all there is to it. They want longer guns for hunting and for accuracy. So tell us what's coming up here.
All right, this is the first confirmed handgun for the SHOT Show. This is the Dan Wesson Bruin long slide. Now, I see this coming up soon in layaway slip in my own wallet. This is a long slide 1911 chambered in 10 millimeter auto.
So, just an ideal. And why we like the 1911 in the 10 millimeter is capacity wise, we're legal in Michigan
You can
to hunt
still
with.
hunt with it here.
Yeah, you can hunt with it here. We would be glad to be using the long slide 10 millimeter Glock, but unfortunately it holds 15 rounds, which we can't legally hunt with here.
Right.
So, and there'll be people that'll want to fight
Now,
that, of course.
I should not have said the layaway thing yet because I don't know the price on this.
No, but
There has not been a price released on this. However,
they're not the only ones.
it's a Dan Wesson, so you know it's quality. They're made
Yes.
by CZ, but they are made here in America.
But
So-
the thing is, they're not the only ones. We've looked at Ivor
Right.
Johnson's bringing out the 10 millimeter long slide. You're going to see probably a Colt come back out with a 10 millimeter long. Smith and Wesson's bound to do it sooner or later. These are all. These are these long. Even if they're 45s and long slide, you're getting. And it's a long gun. It's a big gun. But that little bit of extra barrel length and that extra sight radius can make a big difference
Yep.
in hunting.
Yeah.
So, and we've seen on the Sportsman's Channel, we've seen the elk taken with 10 millimeter
Well,
handguns.
that Razor Dobbs,
Yeah.
who was a big 10 millimeter fan, and of course he's sponsored by Dan Wesson and the CZ.
Yes, he is.
He always has these 10 millimeter, and he's taken just about every game I think that he could with a 10 millimeter
Right.
handgun.
And the biggest proponent of 10 millimeters over the years has been Uncle Ted Nugent. He's a monster with a 10 millimeter, never leaves home without it, and you won't catch him anywhere without a 10 millimeter on him. So but he carries the Glock.
Well, next one, besides the 10 millimeter, here's the other coolest thing you're going to see.
All right.
This is called the Inland M1 Pistol Advisor. Now, named for the chopped off M1 carbines used by military advisors in Vietnam.
It used to be called the Enforcers.
Now, these are 12-inch barreled handguns, M1 carbines.
Yes.
This is an M1 carbine handgun with a 12-inch barrel, 30 carbine caliber. It takes standard M1 carbine mags, so you've got 5, 10, 15, and 30 round capacity magazines for this gun.
Right.
MSRP is $1,239. Now, Inland is making these. This is
Yes.
a true Inland
These are
carbine.
good looking guns.
Inland is also making true M1 carbines again as well. They've realized the power and the popularity of them.
Right.
Now, so those are my two top picks so far until we actually see what's come out at the SHOT Show. But here's a couple others. Ruger has introduced, like we mentioned, the new American pistol before the SHOT Show. It was leaked into confirmed rumors. They just said, okay, fine, we're going to come out with this. And also the new 2245 Light. It comes now in green.
Yes. It's a green anodized finish. Good looking gun.
It's in memory of the Spartans.
There you go. Sparta. Next, they'll come with Amazing Blue.
Maybe.
Yeah, it might win in the fourth quarter. So, but anyways,
Or it might not score at all. If it's green.
I know we got more to talk about, and there's a lot more to talk about. But there's some pretty cool guns coming up. But can I take just a minute? Is it okay with you if I take a minute to talk about what's happening January 12th?
Oh, sure.
Okay, January 12th, folks, with our good friends from Hicks Outdoors up in Clio. They're having their buck pole night. Now, their buck pole night is not your average buck pole night. This is a celebratory night where everybody that's entered a gun in their buck pole, which is
Entered a buck in their buck
a
pole.
buck in their buck pole. Did I say gun? But anyways, entered a buck in their buck pole. Whatever the size is, it's their party for everybody.
Yes.
And at this party, it's also used as a fundraiser. This year, they've chosen the Thomas Smith Memorial Foundation, our foundation that provides free heart screenings for the kids of Genesee County and surrounding areas. Anybody that can get there is going to be the chosen benefactor.
Yes.
Okay. So they've asked us to step in and help them, and we are proud to. Mark and Butch and the whole gang up there at Hicks is a great place, a great little gun shop, archery shop, pro shop, bait and tackle store. Love Hicks. It's right on Linden Road, right across from Walmart, and you will be amazed at how they can, the prices are wonderful there. So in service, it's family-run business, the way to do it. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
So now what we're going to do with them is there's going to be several guns given away at this, and they're going to do it like we do at all the events we go to. They're card raffles. Now, if you've got a buck involved, you're already invited, but I'm inviting the general public to come to this. Bring some money, be ready to have some fun, and you might be able to come home.
It's what day?
January 12th.
And it's at Joe's Garage.
Joe's Garage on M57.
In Clio.
Yeah, between Elms and Linden Road on the north side of Vienna Road.
Yes.
Now, it's going to be a lot of fun. We're going to have a great time there, and I want to invite you. And we'll get more details on our website, thegss.com, and of course I'll be putting it on Facebook here pretty soon too. We're going to get all the details from him tomorrow, and we'll put it on the website on Monday. So, cool things coming up in January. We got in with the SHOT Show and all that's coming up with the SHOT Show.
Yes.
We're going to have more to talk about.
We're going to
next
have so
week.
much more to talk about. We just got a message from listener Dave that says he has a Ruger number 1 in 22 Hornet.
There you go. Perfect
So.
gun for that. Yeah.
All right.
All right. Well, hey.
Oh, what time is the buck
I
pull?
think it's 8:00 at night.
I thought it was 5 to 8. We'll come back to that later.
We'll get you more details. I promise. And we left
All
that
right.
sheet at home. So
Well, stay tuned. Mike Gaylord's coming up
He
next
is.
with Everything Classic.
you want to talk
But-
about guns values with him? You can talk about gun values with him too.
No, contact us during the week at Facebook, The Gunsmith Show,
Yes.
or shooter at thegss.com. That is our email address if you want to send us one of those. Our website is thegss.com, and don't forget to follow us on Twitter at The Gunsmith Show.
That's right. Well, folks, it's been a pleasure being with you today. For now, I'm John.
And I'm Jake.
Shoot straight, shoot often. God bless America. We'll see you next week. Same time, same place, right here on 1470 WFNT. Hang on for Mike Gaylord.